What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's a little noisy out here. I got the heater running there because it is a little bit cold out here. Anyway, today's project is I got a 1-inch drive Harbor Freight air impact wrench. I got this for free. What I know about it is the handle doesn't work, or the trigger doesn't work, so it's stuck in the on position, and the knob here that turns it forward reverse is supposed to be broken. A friend of mine bought this at an auction for $75, and what he found out was the trigger was broke. He put a valve on it right here so he could turn it on and off, and then this here froze up, and he put some vice grips or something on it, he said, and tried to turn it, and he said something broke or something in there, and it wouldn't work anymore, wouldn't do anything. And he had brought it over here, and we were going to mess with it when we worked on his truck to change the yoke on the transmission. And anyway, he wound up, he had another impact wrench, and I didn't have a 1-inch, and so it's pretty much junk. And he wanted to know if I wanted it. He was going to throw it away, and I said, well, sure, I'll take it, and I'll take a look at it, you know, and see if there might be something there you can fix cheaply. I'm not going to spend any money in it, other than, you know, if it's something really simple, because you can buy these impact wrenches at Harbor Freight for, I think, $170, $180, something like that. So we're just going to take the screws out of it here and pull it apart, and see what we can see here. If it's something simple that we can fix pretty easily, we'll do that, and if not, then it can go in the junk pile. So anyway, we'll set you up over here and we'll get started. Alright guys, I got it up here, and I took a couple of screws out there, and it obviously doesn't work at all. So and it says on there, do not remove. So I wasn't supposed to take this off, I suppose. Oh well, I've never been real good at following directions anyways. I'm not sure what's going on there. It doesn't appear to be broken there. Let me get some penetrating oil here and spray in here, and we'll see if I can get this freed up, and we'll see what's going on with this here. Alright guys, I put a little penetrating oil in there, PB Blaster. It seemed to free it up there. Don't really see anything broken as far as that part of it goes. Working it back and forth there to try to get it freed up a little better. We got that freed up. I don't know what's wrong with the inside of it here. Then I'll look at the trigger there. My buddy, he doesn't take real good care of things as far as stuff like this. He'll leave it out in the rain or something. So there's no telling how corroded up, how froze up it is there. I have no idea how this is supposed to come apart. I don't know if this is one of these where you can bump the end of it and bump it back out of there or not. It's got some more bolts there I may have to take loose. Yeah, I believe we'll have to take those loose as well. Let's see here. They're the same size. A little bit of an extension there. Motor is froze up. It's not that bad froze up though. Looks like he oiled it real well, doesn't it? Full of rust. All the rust in there. I don't see a lot of wear in there. It's just rusted up. So, I believe I can make that work. Next thing is we'll look at is this trigger, see what's going on with this trigger here. So we'll take it apart here. Spring and a little seat that's been cracked. something else down in there. It looks like the plunger probably froze up as well. Let's see. I'm making a mess. So the plunger that goes up and down up inside the trigger here is froze up, and it pushes on this little seat here, which this seat is cracked, but I believe it would seal somewhat. It's got a little chip missing off the edge of it right there. I'm not sure if you can buy that plunger somewhere, or if you can make something or what, but little plastic plunger. I believe I can get this freed up here if I keep working at it. Just drive it back and forth a little bit. Alright guys, I just about got that pin freed up in there. I don't know if you can see what I was doing or not. There's a plunger right down in there. I was putting the PB blaster on it, and when that plunger, you drive it down, and then the trigger, it pushes the trigger out. That's squeezing the trigger, pushing it back up. So working that back and forth, that plunger back and forth in there. Now I boogered the threads up just a little bit and whatnot, so I'll have to kind of get that where to start back. And I boogered the seat up just a little bit down in there doing that. But this piston's already busted, and like I say, this thing was free, so it's not a loss, you know, to me. So I about got that pin freed up there, and I fully expect that this will probably leak a little bit on the trigger when I get done, if I even get it working. But that's not a big deal. So let me go ahead and start putting this back together here. I think I'll go ahead and squeeze a little bit of grease in here in the apple part, just for good measure, since I got it apart. Put a little in there and that'll sling around, I'm sure. And kind of lubricate things in there. Grease on that. guys, the little piston there, little plastic piston that was cracked that forms the seal inside the trigger went ahead and finished breaking off there. So I don't know if I can find anything like that or not in order to fix the trigger. I mean, I could put a ball valve or something on it right there. Wouldn't make it work. I got it going forward and reverse. It runs now. It'd be super sweet if the trigger worked as well. That's all that's wrong with the thing is that it's almost like a flare, like an AN fitting, kind of like that goes down in there. It's kind of the way that was. So I don't know if I can make something out of something like that right there, that'll seal, but maybe one size bigger. Have a size bigger right there. You know, I could feel the inside of that end right there, probably, and make it use something like that. Alright guys, this AN flare right here looks about the right size. So I don't know if I can rig this up to where that taper will seal, fill the inside of this, and get this to attach to this spring somehow. If I can make that work. Let's see what I can come up with here. Looks like a good time to test out the new cutoff tool we have here. I got that cut down a little bit. And that's just an old fitting I had laying around there. So that should just sit on top of that spring like that right there. I could actually probably drill this out a little bit and probably make this spring go inside of there. I may actually do that. Alright guys, what I'm looking for is that other flare unit, the little plastic thing they had in there, it's got this little cap on top of it to block the center off, and it's set on top of, or inside of, the spring there, like that, and had a flare around it so it could seal. I've got a union or something here, some kind of fitting I had, I'm not even sure what it was, I don't know what size that is either, some kind of AN fitting. But I drilled the back side of it out so that it will fit over this spring here like that. But it's got a hole in the center, and so the plunger on the trigger goes through the hole. So I need a way to block this hole off right here, and I don't have anything to block this hole off with. The only thing I found that goes in there is my punch here. So I'm thinking about cutting this punch off right there with my cutoff tool, driving it down right there, and then you see it sticks through the inside, the spring will sit on there, and I'm thinking that should work. So I'm going to try it and see. I can always taper this punch down again, so that's not a big loss. And we'll try out the old cutoff tool again here. Alright guys, so I drove the punch through the center of it right there, the cutoff punch, and ground it off flat right there, so that push pin should sit right there, and the flare should seal inside that housing there, hopefully. So, this thing's hot, but just sit on top of the spring right there, like that. Pin should push it down, should open the airway up there, and that should work, in theory. So here we go, we'll put it together and find out. Okay, so apparently the overall length is too long on it. It's going to be kind of difficult to trim down like that. So evidently when I tighten it up, it's pushing. Those two are hitting right there because of the collar on here. So I'm going to have to turn this collar down to make it shorter. So we'll see if we can do that. Alright, so I'm going to leave the punch sticking through there to help hold the spring centered. So I still haven't cut quite enough off of it there, apparently. Alright guys, I'm going to show you what I did here. I got through building my plug here. I had to drive this punch on down in below flush. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's way down below flush right there because the pin inside the impact wrench where this trigger's at sticks up above flush right there. So it was holding this off of the seat. And I wish I had some grinding compound I would put on here and try to lap this in there to where it would make a great seal, or a good seal, but I don't have any, so it's gonna leak some. But that's the end of a punch. Drove through an AN fitting. I don't know if that's a number 6 or what size it is. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it looks about like a number 6. And I cut it down and drilled out the backside of it right there so the spring would go in there and it would set there like that. So when you push the trigger, it pushes the pin, which pushes this, which opens the opening. So we're gonna put it together here and see what it works. I flushed this thing out with some diesel there a while ago. Poured diesel down through it and blowed air in it and flushed it out to get all that junk that was built up in there, all that rust and corrosion out of there. And then I'm gonna oil it good. That doesn't have to be very tight, so bring you over here so you can see that a little bit closer there. You can see down in there right there when I open the trigger how it opens that up and drops it in the seat. Alright guys, I got it all put back together, laying here on the floor. I'm going to hook it up. We'll see how bad it leaks and what it does. Well, it definitely leaks, but it's got some torque. It leaks some, but I mean, it ain't bad. I've got other impact wrenches that leak that bad. I mean, it's definitely usable. And I can probably pick up some valve lapping compound and lap that in there in that seat a little bit so it'll feel a little better.
right, guys, that is a wrap. I finally got that thing going. It's taken me about 3 hours of messing with that thing. And it still leaks a little bit, but some of my other guns leak like that, you know, running that much air pressure, about 160, 170 pounds. Some of them leak like that, but as long as it doesn't leak enough that the anvil's turning, you can still put a socket on, you still use it, it's not hurting anything. But I may pick up a little valve lapping compound, or if I can find what I had, lap that seat in there a little bit better, it might work a little bit better. But I've got that thing stuck in the toolbox here. I cleaned it up a little bit. I think that'll come in handy on something other that maybe that 3/4 gun won't get off, which is rare, but it does happen. So that'll be handy to have around for no more money I got in it. I probably got, I don't know, I had that fitting already. I don't know what that fitting was, $5, $6, $8 or something. And then I spent some diesel, you know, with a heater running out here, but probably got $20 in it or so, plus about 3 hours of my time, a little PB blaster and whatnot. But anyway, it's worth it to get it working if it's usable, versus going buy a new one for $180 plus tax, be about $200. But who thinks my buddy's gonna want that back whenever he finds out it's working? Leave in the comments. I bet he does, but you know what? He can kiss my butt. Thanks for watching, you guys. We'll see you next time.